Okay guys, I'm making a brand new video today as the date is November 15th 2025, and I am super excited to share a discovery I just made today. First, I'm gonna point out a couple changes I made to my rifle. Yes, I can't leave it alone. But the changes I made are pretty simple. I took the metal 400cc bottle off the back and I put a 500cc, no, excuse me, I put a 580cc carbon fiber bottle on the back. And I put the factory shoulder piece, butt pad, whatever you want to call it, on there. And of course I put some neoprene over it so it doesn't get hot or cold, and it's nice and soft on my face, and it brings my eye up to the perfect level to look to the exact center of my scope, which is absolutely fantastic. Speaking of scopes, today I've got my Athlon 1-10 by 42 excuse me, 1-10 by 28. Pardon me. It's one of my favorite scopes. It only weighs a pound and makes the rifle light enough you can hold up and shoot it offhand. Okay, the other change is I took the 700cc bottle off the front and I put a little baby binky 300cc bottle I got from my good friend Angel. And as you can see, I also put a little Atlas bipod Picatinny rail on it with some epoxy. I don't actually screw those on. Okay. And today I'm also using my absolutely fantastic Athlon Rangecraft chronograph you see sitting there. Let me show you guys this thing. This is absolutely fantastic. Okay, what's she saying? 952.8 feet per second. That's with these new slugs. So that's what I'm all excited to tell everybody about today. This rifle is sighted in, zeroed right now for the 93 grain slugs from NSA. These right here. And so on my target down there at 50 yards, those hit dead center on the bullseye. Okay? Now recently, a few weeks ago, I stumbled across these Griffin slugs. And I want you guys to know that the two most accurate slugs I've ever shot out of this rifle, it's my Dynamic 357. The two most accurate slugs are the 93 grain NSA and the 68 grain FX hybrid slugs, which I also buy from a guy in Idaho. He sells them as, he calls them slap shot slugs, but they're the same thing. Anyway, also I've tried, oh God, probably at least a dozen or more different brands and weights and types of slugs in this rifle. You know, I order them, I buy them, I try them, and they don't work, they're not accurate. I send them off to friends in Wisconsin or Michigan and let them try them out or melt them down, you know, whatever they want to do with them, because I can't use them if they're not accurate. So, I was a little skeptical about ordering and trying one more time, but I'm glad I did. A couple weeks ago, I ordered some of these Griffin 112 grain flat base match slugs. They also got a hollow point, which is neither here nor there to me because I'm not killing anything with them. I'm just a target shooter. I'm an accuracy nut. Okay, now, at the same time, I also ordered 1 tin of these 122 grain flat base match, which happen to also be hollow points. Okay, now I'm going to walk down to my target, which will take me a couple of minutes because I don't walk fast as I used to. But I'm walking down there to show you something that's just going to blow your mind, which blew my mind. I shot a few of the 93 grainers just to check their accuracy. And then I came down and put up a new target. And the first new Griffin slugs I tried today were the 122 grainers. Okay, and let me show you what happened. Now remember, this rifle is sighted in at 50 yards, zeroed for the 93 grainers. All right, now that's about what 93 grainers do at 50 yards, right there. Okay. You can see, I think 4 of them hit the black dot. A couple were low. A couple were a little high to the left. Why, I don't know. But you always tend to get a bunch of them that will just burn up the center of a black dot. And then you always get a few of these little flyers with those 93 grainers. And I don't know why. It's always kind of aggravated me. You don't get flyers like this with the 68 grade hybrids. They just burn one little tiny hole in a target. Okay, so with that in mind, look at here. I fired one shot with a 122 grain Griffin slug. That's with my rifle set at 180 bar. And look at that. Hit that. I mean, it almost looks like I drilled a hole in there with a damn drill. Just dead center on that target. And I thought, okay, I ain't going to fire another shot on that one. I moved over here to this black dot. And you can see 2 of them touching right there. Now, these weigh 122. So why are they hitting the exact same point of aim at 50 yards as the 93 grainers? I don't know. It's a mystery. So I thought, well, my God, that's my neighbor, likes to shoot at my target with his BB gun. Okay, so I switched out to the 112 grain Griffin slugs. And look at this. I aimed at the red dot here. And they hit 2 of them touching at 50 yards here. About an inch to the right, 1.5 inches to the right of my point of aim. Why they hit to the right, I don't know, because there's no wind today. There ain't a breath of air moving. But, I mean, that ain't bad with the 112s. Those are snake eyes, baby. But once again, these hit 1.5 inches to the right of my point of aim, whereas the 122s hit dead on. So I think my slug of choice between these two is going to be the 122s. They're giving me the best accuracy and, you know, the most power, the most energy. So I'll walk back up and show you what I wrote down on my tablet. First of all, let me pick up this can I shot a few times with those 122s. Man, look at the hole those 122's made. Going in and, oof, yikes. All right, I'll get those later. Karen? I'm making a video. Okay, I'm not going to draw this out any much further. Well, I am going to show you what I wrote down on my tablet. It's been a hell of a long time since I was this excited about some new slugs. Because all the ones I've bought in the last couple of years for this rifle, none of them were accurate worth a damn. I mean, not to my standards. Not like this. Period. So, once again, these Griffin 122 grain match slugs are now my slug of choice. And, I mean, it's just super accurate with these. So let me tell you what I wrote on my tablet. I'm not going to read it out loud to you, other than to point out a couple of things. The 122s are shooting here at about 956. 950, 952. That's about 225 to 227 foot-pounds of energy, which will kill a deer, hog, about any small game. The 122 grainers were running out there for an average after a bunch of shots of about 915, 913, 915. Let's see, 913 was 226, 915 was 227. So the 122 grainers going 915 gave me 227 foot-pounds. The 112s going 956 gave me 227 foot-pounds. Of the two, I'm going to shoot the heavier 122 grainers as my slugs of choice, my new slug of choice, simply because they're going to buck the wind better. They're going to carry more energy downrange when they get where they're going. And I mean, they're just pinpoint accurate. All right. So the guy at Griffin don't realize it yet, but I'm going to be ordering a whole bunch more of these 122 grainers when I get home today. I'm going to have to stock up on these while they're still available. I'm going to have to get me a good 15 or 20 cans. All right. So, once again, here's my dynamic. 357. And let's see, I just filled it up with air, so it's up a little high, but you can see my reg's showing 185, but that's because it's been sitting here in the sun this whole time I've been talking. I'll shoot it one time. I'll let it recover, and I'll show you that, well, it's like 183 now. Sitting in this hot sun, it gets a little slightly higher. But it's about, I'm shooting these at about 180, 183 bar. And you can see the results they're giving me. Forgive all the exclamation marks, but man, I felt like I found the Holy Grail today. So I'm going to title this video, The Holy Grail of Airgun Slugs for my dynamic. You guys all have a nice Thanksgiving holiday, and I encourage you strongly to try some of these in your dynamic. I don't know how they'll shoot in anything else, but I'm telling you how they shoot out of this dynamic. Mine, by the way, has got a 700 millimeter barrel. It was a sniper version. But for me, I bought the cheaper VP model because I didn't need that hand guard and all that extra junk on it. I like to keep my rifle just as light as I possibly can so I can hold it up and shoot it offhand. And at 70 years old, I can't lift up too much anymore. So everyone have a nice Thanksgiving and God bless. I'm out.